I'm glad here's no tree.
So yeah, there's sure.
Hey everyone, this is Julie. We're here with Gary from Snow Patrol, and I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you for having me here.
You've had a busy day so far, I've heard. It's like
yes, we started in Baden-Baden. We went to Stuttgart, then we went to Ulm, and now we're here in Munich.
That's crazy.
Very exciting.
Wow. So a lot of driving.
Yeah, there's been a lot of driving. Driving in various. Either it's very very hot. Or it's raining really, really hard. So we've experienced two very extreme weather types today.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
It seems to just either be bright sunshine or torrential rain. So here we are.
Okay. But I'm glad that you're here now. And we're mostly talking about your new album, of course, that it's out now, Wildness.
Yes.
Your 7th studio album.
Mm-hmm.
And it's your first studio album in 7 years.
Yes.
And I think your most personal album as well.
Yes, that's true.
And I know that the album is about a lot of dark topics, about addiction, about your father's dementia, which is horrible because I know that pain as well. My father has dementia as well.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So, and it's I imagine it's very hard to talk about. Isn't it like every interview you do, like, setting you down, like it's like a downer every time you have to talk about this album?
No, I think talking about it helps. I don't want to labor any of the points for sure, but anymore. I've talked about it quite openly so far, and you know, there's plenty of stuff out there for me talking about that stuff. But I'm always happy to talk about it because I think it's important to kind of stay open about these things, you know. And I think the record, the starting points of some of the songs were very dark times, but I don't think that's the way it ended up. It seems
not at all. It's a record full of, which I think is super cool, full of hope and light, and it's just refreshing to hear. And it was awesome seeing it live as well. I saw you at Rock and Park last month.
Oh, right, okay.
I was the girl right in the middle waving.
Oh, yes, I saw you.
That was me, right?
You.
No, it was super cool because it was like sunset, and it was just 10,000s of people.
There was a few there.
A few more singing to your songs and even to your new songs already, like Empress, which I thought was super cool.
Yeah. I think, you know, as I recall, that you know, songs that haven't been on the radio yet, like "Heal Me" went down really well. That show. Yeah, it's amazing to play new songs and have them so well received. We've toured Ireland already. We've done some shows in the UK and America, and you know, people seem to be taken to the new album. And we're playing not in festivals because, you know, we don't want to test people too much. No. We don't want to bore the hell out of people. Really, no. We play, you know, sort of a more varied set. But in our own headline shows, we're playing sort of 4 or 5 new songs, and that's either brave or foolish. And at the moment, it's sort of worked out well.
I'm pretty sure it worked well.
Yeah.
Where did you play so far for your headline shows?
We've just done some small, like we've I mean, hopefully we'll talk about the shows coming up later in the year and arenas and stuff, but we've done some theatre shows and things like that, sort of smaller ones, which have been really fun. We did a theatre tour of Ireland, which we've never done before, and that was a whole lot of fun.
And you've been to Dundee to receive your honorary degree in Doctor of Law, something?
Doctor of Laws. I know all the laws now. If anybody needs to ask me any questions about them,
I would. Lawyer,
but
maybe.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I might at some point, maybe I can go into one of our lawyer meetings and not fall asleep, but it's probably still going to be bedtime for Gary. But yeah, that was nice. I mean, I barely scraped by getting my degree from Dundee University 20 years ago. So it's nice of them to give me a degree that I definitely didn't earn.
Yeah, because I've wondered, you were studying at Dundee University, and I was like, wasn't it like before you even formed Snow Patrol, and now 20 years later?
It was. We formed Snow Patrol on the first day of 1994. It was the first day of Freshers Week. I don't know if there's something comparable in Germany, but basically you're getting to know everybody kind of week of, well, mainly drinking, but you know, the band formed on the first day, and so Dundee's a big part of our history, and they still kind of count us there as a Dundee band, even though we are mostly from Northern Ireland.
That's true. Yeah. So it's nice. So you're a doctor of laws or bylaws? What's the right
I'm
pronunciation?
doctor of laws.
Doctor of laws.
And yeah, I got another doctorate from the University of Ulster as well in Northern Ireland. So I am so much a doctor now that I can cure anything. Me.
So you have a second career coming up.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. I'm gonna leave the band and start a medical practice.
No.
Sure.
Please don't. No, but in all honesty, I think you've read on or you wrote on Twitter that you wrote solo songs already, or like as a second.
Yeah, I have an album ready. Just the lyrics aren't finished yet, but the music is written for a solo record. But it's a very strange record. I'm going to put my own name on it, but it's not. It's by no means. And when you hear it, you'll understand. It's by no means me sort of quietly leaving Snow Patrol. No, Snow Patrol is the mothership, and this is just a little side project, really.
I'm excited. So why do you, or how do you decide on whether a song is for your solo stuff or for Snow Patrol?
Snow Patrol get all the best songs. It's just as simple as that. I don't keep anything back from Snow Patrol records. They get all the best ones and whatever's left. And there's a lot because I write a lot of songs. There's a lot of stuff that's left over. And some of those songs are good enough for people to hear, and some of those songs aren't good enough for people to hear, and they get a Viking funeral. The songs that I have many songs that aren't that haven't been released, and I'd love to start releasing those, and that's why I wanted to kind of start maybe doing an album a year of just me on my own, where I can just put out 10 or 12 of these songs a year, and limited edition kind of thing, where it's 5,000 or 10,000 albums or whatever. Anyway.
That's very cool to hear. So and it's very nice to hear that you're writing a lot of songs already, because you've, like, for 7 years there was like we're all like, where's Gary?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I was writing a lot of songs.
Yeah.
I just wasn't writing them for Snow Patrol.
Yeah.
I mean, I was writing them for Snow Patrol, but they weren't being released. But yeah, and I was writing songs for other people and writing songs for movies and TV shows and things. But I did, like, I scored whole movies and stuff, and that's what I always wanted to do. I wanted to work in movies. They're my second love after music, and I knew that my acting skills weren't gonna take me there. Unfortunately, I'm pretty much the most wooden actor in the world. I'm like Pinocchio, but actually he came to life. I'm more like Pinocchio before he came to life. But so I knew that music was probably the only way that I could contribute to movies. So that's what I've.
Getting back to the most important topic today, which is Wildness, of course. So Wildness Empress is out now, and it's we've just heard an unplugged version of that song, which is even more, like, I'd say breathtaking, because I was standing outside and I was like, wow, this is crazy good. Like, I saw it live with the full band and such, and I was always wondering, even when I heard it the first time last month, what the lyrics are about, because it's like a storyline of people.
Yeah, I guess it was inspired by my goddaughters, Betsy and Esme, who are 17 and 15. They're Jackknife Lee, our producer's daughters. I've known Esme since she was born, because I've known Garrett for 15 years. We've been working together. And Johnny McDade and myself are co-godfathers.
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 What does that mean?
So we're I don't know. We just get them presents when
you can stay
for
out
birthdays and stuff
you can
like
stay
that.
Out tonight. You don't have to go to bed.
Yeah. So basically, I've sort of known them their whole lives, and they've just they've always been awesome, but they've turned into kind of really awesome young women that give a shit about the world, and I just wanted to kind of write a song about seeing the world through their eyes, and maybe seeing the world through the eyes of a 17-year-old version of myself that didn't grow up in Northern Ireland, because Northern Ireland was a very closed society.
Yeah.
Northern Ireland didn't have we didn't really have world news, because there was too much news going on in our own country. Every day there was bombs or killings and stuff. So it was we weren't really thinking outside or further into the world. but they see the whole world and care about the whole world, and I kind of wanted to imagine what that would be like at their age. So I guess it's a song about joining the resistance, perhaps, to some of the darker elements in the world that are going on.
Which is super important, right? Especially right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's an album full of hope and full of light, and of course full of darkness as well. But as I said, you always take the best out of it, and you always try to make it positive. And I imagine that's very hard, especially in your place, who's gone through so much shit in his life. Where do you take that strength from for your songs?
I don't know. I think Northern Ireland confused me when I was growing up in it. I didn't understand what was going on. I wasn't religious. I'm not really very religious. I'm not religious at all. But so there was kind of dividing lines, Catholics versus Protestants. I didn't really understand, that Christians fighting Christians. It doesn't make any sense to me that Christians fight Muslims or Muslims fight Jewish people. It doesn't make any sense to me, any of it. But it certainly didn't make sense that Christian people hated each other. So it kind of confused me when I grew up there. So it took me a long time to kind of circle back to Northern Ireland, and it was after the peace process had happened, and I realized just how much I loved the place and how much it meant to me, and that I kind of gather strength from, I think we all Northern Irish people gather strength from the place that the place that it was, that we grew up in, because we all lost someone close to us. We all knew of neighbors or friends or family members or whatever that died in the conflict, and you get not just a kind of a dark sense of humor, which all Northern Irish people have, but you feel connected in some way. You do, and there is kind of a hope in that 95% of the country in Northern Ireland now, all they want is peace, and everybody under the age of 20, 21, 22 hasn't seen it any other way, really, and we want to keep it that way. And so that kind of strength to keep the country safe and free and peaceful is something that kind of dominates.
That's very good, and it's a beautiful country.
Yeah, it's an amazing place. It really is an amazing place.
It's great people. It's very astonishing as well. Especially with that history.
It's the friendliest. It's literally the friendliest place you could visit. Yeah. Ireland in general is a very friendly place. I've had stories of American friends go and visit in Ireland, and they'll meet someone on the first day there that invites them into their home for like a cup of tea. You know what I mean? This is the type of people they are. It doesn't as you say, the history doesn't really seem to make sense, but it's something that I think in a way has brought us all closer together in a strange way. It's not something you would advise for you wouldn't advise that as like a team building exercise, but it's what we've got to work with, and I think we're doing a pretty good job of it.
And going back on the touring thing, because you're touring right now, and I don't want to talk about all this political. It's beautiful to talk about this, but it's like
I don't talk about it. I'll talk about anything.
We talk about funnier stuff.
Yeah,
let's talk
about it. Yeah, sure.
You go back on tour in the summertime with Ed Sheeran. You're playing the big stadiums in the US, and then you come back here in Europe in January, to, of course, bigger venues, but it's not a stadium. Of course, does it
No.
Does the venue differ for you as like for your play on stage? Does it make a difference?
I think it's not so much the venue, because we've supported people in stadiums before. Well, one particular band, U2, we've supported in stadiums many times, and you kind of you have to go out there and try and win over the audience, also realizing that a lot of them may have forgotten that you played by the end of the U2 set, so but it's just a simple fact. You've got to go out there and give it your best shot. You've got to show just how much fun, how much you love the music that you're playing. I think you can't really go out into a stadium show and be subtle. It's just not gonna work. You can't be shy. You can't look at you. You can't say hello, okay, bye. You gotta engage with the audience. You gotta warm everybody up too. You can't be precious. You can't be egotistical about it. You gotta know that you are the support act. And then when you're playing your own shows, that's when you can bring subtlety into it. You can bring people on a journey. You can take them from the start, maybe something small or maybe something big to start, and then bring it down to small, like a pinprick on the stage where it's just maybe me and a piano or a guitar or something, and then bring it widescreen again. And you can take people through a whole series of different emotions, from quiet, loud, to sad, to happy. Whereas when you're playing support in a stadium, there's really just one setting, and that's just turn it up to 11.
Entertainment.
Yeah. You can't be a shrinking violet on a support slot in a stadium.
When are you going to play here in Germany?
As part of our European tour, we're very excited to be playing. A lot of the shows, actually the most shows of any country is Germany. So we're playing in Munich at the Zenith on the 18th of January. Come see us, please. And we're really excited to play again in Munich, to play again in Germany. It's a place that's always been really fun for us to play, and we're just excited to get back and doing our own tour again. And we're devising a show right now that is, it's kind of, it's amazing. If we pull it off, it'll be the best show that we ever put on, because we've got some really amazing ideas, and our lighting director, who's been with us for 20 years, is only got better over those years. So you can multiply our last show by like 3, 5, 25 million, a million.
Do you have like a big life-sized astronaut?
That walks out onto the stage. He's 30 feet tall. Just
Can I play
knocks over amplifiers stuff. He's very clumsy.
Yeah. Sounds
very,
like me.
very
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, okay, good. Okay, you're in. You're hired.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for the great new album. Thank you so much for watching. This was the interview with Gary from Snow Patrol. Whoop.